Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the top shadow Pokemon in Master League that are currently available or were previously available. I was going to do an Ultra League one, but to be honest, there's nothing in Ultra League that is necessarily that much better as a shadow Pokemon compared to the regular. There might be some niche matchups, but for the most part they perform relatively the same as the non-shadow versions. So what changed? So obviously shadow Pokemon, as you know now, do 20% more damage, but also receive 20% more damage. Why does this matter? Because it allows shadow Pokemon to be a little bit more attack oriented with a potential win or lose particular matchups. So I'm going to do this a little bit different style. What I did, it was I compared the rank 1 shadow and non-shadow version versus the entire restricted meta with rank 1 stats, which basically means like 100% IVs at level 40. I decided not to do best buds just because it would take a little while to be able to get up to best buds. But that's certainly something that you could consider and factor in. The Pokemon that I decided to include in the restricted meta include Dialga, Giratina Altered, Giratina Origin, Metagross, Melmetal, Kyogre, Togekiss, Snorlax, Mewtwo, and Garchomp. The last two are probably pretty iffy when it comes to the meta, but this gives us 10 total Pokemon in the restricted meta, and these cover basically the entire meta that you'll encounter for the most part in Master League. The first Pokemon that I want to highlight is Gyarados. Gyarados with Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath, Crunch, and Outrage allows you to go from 4 wins to 5 wins, so basically picking up half the meta. The new notable win is Giratina Altered, so if we go ahead and take a look at pvpoke.com, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and we're going to be able to see Dragon Breath, Crunch, Outrage. We're going to make sure it's at... Oh, nope. Okay, this is the Ultra League. We got to go to Masters. There you go, the 100%. And we'll see that the regular version picks up 4 wins, picks up wins against and 1 tie, and picks up wins against Kyogre, Garchomp, Metagross, and Mewtwo. But once we go to the Shadow variant, we're going to see that it actually picks up 5 wins, and then Snorlax actually ends up ends up being a win. Oh, what changed actually? That's interesting. Giratina Altered turns to a win, and Snorlax was a tie previously, so which one? I think it was Mewtwo? Maybe it was Mewtwo. Let's see. Okay. Alright, yeah, Mewtwo turns from a win to a loss, but Snorlax then becomes a tie to a win. Giratina Altered also becomes a loss to a win, or just barely lost. So depends on what you're more interested in. Again, this is the Shadow Ball variant of Mewtwo, so it's very curious that it loses. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, all right, and now the next Pokemon that I want to talk about. So Gyarados, pretty strong option. That's at number 4. At number 3, we have Snorlax. Picks up 1 shield, but it picks up 1 additional matchup against the entire meta. The notable win is against Togekiss. So if we actually present, if we go to pvpoke.com and search up Snorlax, I typically like to run Lick, Body Slam, and Superpower. And if we see it picks up 4 wins, 6 losses, picks up wins against Melmetal, Metagross, Snorlax itself, and then that's very curious actually, and Giratina Origin. And then as the Shadow variant, it picks up 1 additional win against Garchomp, and then as well then subsequently ties Garchomp and Togekiss. Okay, all right, so pretty solid, but still loses to several others, but it does make it a little bit more interesting to run, and that's with Lick, Body Slam, and Superpower. At number 2, this arguably should be number 1, but at number 2, Gardevoir picks up from 1 win to 4 wins in the 1 shield matchup. It picks up notable wins against Mewtwo, Dialga, and Giratina. So again, if we take a look at that, and we're going to see Gardevoir with Charm, and then we can have the regular version have, in theory, the optimized moveset of Shadow Ball and Synchronoise, and you'll see that it only picks up one win, which is probably against Garchomp. Yep, which it is against Garchomp. And if we go to the Shadow variant and get rid of Synchronoise and put on Psychic, you're going to see that it picks up 4 wins, even without Synchronoise, picking up wins against Giratina Origin, Dialga, Mewtwo, and Garchomp. The first 3 being new ones, and that's because the Charm damage just does so much more. So if we go into this particular matchup, you'll see that you're just going to be able to straight Charm down. You'll see these Charms do 20 damage as a Shadow, and probably only do like 16 as a not a Shadow, and that's not enough to KO Mewtwo before it gets to the second Shadow Ball. And that's probably very similar with Dialga. It goes 17 damage, and the Charms do enough to prevent another Iron Head. But if you go to the normal version, you'll see that they only do 14, and allows Dialga to be able to get off another Iron Head and survive, be able to survive even one more Charm. So you can see how that 20% damage is pretty clutch for Gardevoir, and it would normally KO with charge moves anyways, on the charge move anyways. And at number 1, we see Articuno go from 3 wins to 5 wins, picking up notable wins against Mewtwo and Giratina Origin. Articuno, one of my favorites in Ultra League. And if we take a look at, in theory, you just need Icy Wind, to be honest. You don't even really need to double move this. And you'll see it picks up 3 wins, non-Shadow against Snorlax, Togekiss, and Garchomp. Pretty obvious wins. And if you go to the Shadow variant, you'll see it picks up wins against Mewtwo and Giratina Origin, as well as much better matchups against the other dragons, but again, gets beaten up a little bit more against the other Pokemon. If you were to run a second moveset, like maybe Blizzard, I guess, I don't know if that would actually help, but it might allow you to like almost one-shot, kind of like do 2/3. Desperate situation. Ancient Power doesn't really do too much for Articuno unless you're trying to fish for the boost, which is also a strategy that you might want to deploy. So again, the 4 Pokemon that I recommend that you TM and start farming up for the Team Go Rocket Invasion Takeover for the Shadow variant are going to be Articuno, Gardevoir, Snorlax, and Gyarados. So I'm going to leave it there. If you guys like this video or want to see more videos like this, let me know down in the comment section below, and I will see everyone in the next video.